In the years leading up to 1941, the Balkan region was a volatile mix of political intrigue, national ambitions, and strategic significance. As World War II raged across Europe, the Balkans remained a crucial yet precarious front. The signing of the Tripartite Pact in September 1940 by Germany, Italy, and Japan sought to solidify the Axis powers' dominance and secure allies in southeastern Europe. Romania, Hungary, and Bulgaria quickly joined the pact, aligning themselves with the Axis. However, Yugoslavia and Greece presented a complex picture of resistance and division. Italy's invasion of Greece in October 1940 marked a significant turning point. Italian forces, under the command of Benito Mussolini, anticipated a swift victory. Instead, they faced fierce Greek resistance, culminating in a humiliating retreat. This failure exposed the vulnerabilities within the Axis alliance and highlighted the strategic importance of the Balkans for Germany's planned invasion of the Soviet Union, codenamed Operation Barbarossa. For Adolf Hitler, the Balkans held immense strategic value. The region's geographical position was crucial for securing the southern flank of Europe, ensuring that no threats could emerge to disrupt the Axis's momentum towards the Soviet Union. The Romanian oil fields, vital for fueling the German war machine, were particularly at risk. Securing the Balkans would protect these resources and create a buffer zone against Allied interference. Thus, the Balkans were not merely a sideshow, but a key battleground that would shape the trajectory of World War II. Chapter 1: The Yugoslav Coup. Yugoslavia, a nation forged in the aftermath of World War I, was a patchwork of ethnic groups with deep-seated historical tensions. Serbs, Croats, Slovenes, and other ethnicities coexisted uneasily, leading to internal political strife. The government, led by Regent Prince Paul, faced pressure from both pro-Axis and pro-Allied factions. Prince Paul's decision to join the Tripartite Pact on March 25, 1941, was a bid to maintain national unity and avoid conflict, but it sparked outrage among pro-Allied elements within the country. The Yugoslav government was a delicate balancing act, attempting to maintain the integrity of a nation rife with internal divisions. Ethnic tensions ran high, and the influence of external powers further complicated the political landscape. The pro-Axis government sought to appease Germany in hopes of avoiding the wrath of the Wehrmacht, while the pro-Allied factions viewed alignment with the Allies as a path to preserving national sovereignty and resisting fascist domination. On March 27, 1941, a coup d'etat led by General Dusan Simovic ousted the pro-Axis government. This military coup was a desperate gamble by officers who saw alignment with the Allies as the only viable path to national survival. The new government quickly repudiated the Tripartite Pact, aligning Yugoslavia with the Allied cause. This sudden shift was a bold move but came at a perilous time. The coup was driven by a sense of urgency and patriotism. The officers who orchestrated the coup believed that joining the Allies would bolster Yugoslavia's chances of withstanding Axis aggression. They hoped that this alignment would attract support from Britain and other Allied nations, providing the necessary resources and military aid to defend their homeland. However, this decision also placed Yugoslavia in direct opposition to one of the most formidable military forces in history. Hitler's reaction to the Yugoslav coup was immediate and furious. Viewing the coup as a direct threat to his strategic plans, he ordered the invasion of Yugoslavia to commence without delay. On April 6, 1941, Germany launched a swift and brutal campaign to crush Yugoslavia and reassert Axis dominance in the region. Hitler's fury was not merely a response to the political shift, but a reflection of the broader strategic implications. The coup threatened to unravel the carefully laid plans for Operation Barbarossa. Any delay or diversion of resources could jeopardize the timetable for the invasion of the Soviet Union. Thus, the decision to invade Yugoslavia was both a punitive measure and a strategic necessity, aimed at maintaining the momentum of the Axis war machine. Chapter 2: Blitzkrieg in the Balkans. The German assault on Yugoslavia began on April 6, 1941, with overwhelming air and ground attacks. The Luftwaffe unleashed a devastating bombing campaign on Belgrade, aiming to cripple the Yugoslav command structure and sow chaos. Simultaneously, the Wehrmacht employed its Blitzkrieg tactics, characterized by rapid movement, concentrated firepower, and coordinated air-ground assaults. German panzer divisions, supported by infantry and artillery, smashed through Yugoslav defenses, leaving little time for organized resistance. The effectiveness of the Blitzkrieg strategy lay in its ability to disorient and overwhelm the enemy. The initial bombardment created confusion and panic, disrupting communication lines and crippling the Yugoslav military's ability to coordinate a cohesive defense. German tanks and mechanized infantry moved with astonishing speed, exploiting weaknesses in the Yugoslav lines and encircling key positions. Belgrade, the Yugoslav capital, bore the brunt of the German onslaught. The city was subjected to relentless bombing, resulting in significant civilian casualties and widespread destruction. By April 12th, German forces had entered Belgrade, signaling the rapid collapse of organized Yugoslav resistance. The speed and ferocity of the attack left Yugoslav forces unable to mount a cohesive defense. The fall of Belgrade was a symbolic and strategic victory for Germany. The capture of the capital not only demonstrated the might of the Wehrmacht, but also dealt a psychological blow to the Yugoslav populace. The swift occupation of Belgrade underscored the futility of resistance and paved the way for the rapid disintegration of Yugoslav military efforts. On April 17, 1941, Yugoslavia formally capitulated. The country was dismembered and occupied by Axis powers, with Germany, Italy, Hungary, and Bulgaria carving out their respective zones of control. This swift and decisive victory underscored the effectiveness of German blitzkrieg tactics and demonstrated the vulnerability of nations caught in the geopolitical crossfire of World War II. The dismemberment of Yugoslavia resulted in significant territorial changes. Croatia was established as a puppet state under the Ustaše regime, while other regions were annexed or occupied by neighboring Axis powers. The occupation regimes implemented harsh measures, including the persecution of ethnic and political groups, leading to widespread suffering and resistance. Chapter 3. Greece under siege. With Yugoslavia subdued, German forces turned their attention to Greece. The Greeks had successfully repelled the Italians, but the German threat was of an entirely different magnitude. The Metaxas Line, a series of fortifications along the Greek-Bulgarian border, was Greece's primary defensive stronghold. However, the Germans circumvented this formidable barrier by attacking through Bulgaria, exploiting gaps in the Greek defenses. The Metaxas Line was a symbol of Greek resolve and military ingenuity. Comprised of bunkers, tunnels, and artillery positions, it was designed to withstand a frontal assault. However, the German strategy of bypassing the line demonstrated the limitations of static defenses in the face of modern mobile warfare. The Greek forces, though brave and determined, were ill-prepared for the speed and coordination of the German advance. As German forces advanced, Britain and its Commonwealth allies intervened to support Greece. British, Australian, and New Zealand troops were deployed to bolster Greek defences. Despite their bravery and determination, the Allied forces were outmatched by the superior German war machine. The arrival of Commonwealth forces provided a significant boost to Greek morale. However, the logistical challenges of coordinating multinational forces, coupled with the overwhelming strength of the German Wehrmacht, created a precarious situation. The Allies faced a daunting task in trying to stem the tide of the German advance. The Battle of Greece saw intense fighting as Greek and Commonwealth forces mounted a valiant defense. However, the relentless German advance, coupled with superior air power and coordination, forced the Allies into a strategic retreat. Key battles at Thermopylae and Corinth demonstrated the Allies' resolve, but ultimately highlighted their inability to stem the German tide. The retreat was marked by acts of heroism and sacrifice. At Thermopylae, a small Allied force held off the Germans for several days, echoing the ancient battle fought at the same location. Despite their efforts, the overwhelming German forces eventually broke through, forcing the Allies to withdraw further south. On April 27, 1941, German forces entered Athens, marking the culmination of the Balkan campaign. The swastika was hoisted over the Acropolis, a potent symbol of Nazi dominance. The occupation of Athens was not just a military victory, but a psychological blow to the Allies and the Greek populace. The fall of Athens marked the end of organized resistance in mainland Greece. The German occupation was marked by harsh reprisals and economic exploitation. The symbolic raising of the swastika over the Acropolis served as a stark reminder of Nazi power and the bleak reality of occupation for the Greek people. Chapter 4. Aftermath and Legacy. The Balkan campaign exacted a heavy toll on the populations of Yugoslavia and Greece. Thousands of civilians and soldiers lost their lives, and the brutality of the conflict left lasting scars. The occupation regimes implemented harsh measures, including executions, forced labor, and widespread repression. In Yugoslavia, the Axis powers implemented a brutal occupation regime characterized by ethnic cleansing, forced labor, and mass executions. The atrocities committed by the Ustaše regime in Croatia, in particular, left deep wounds that would haunt the region for decades. In Greece, the occupation led to severe economic hardship, with widespread famine and suffering among the civilian population. In the wake of occupation, resistance movements emerged across Yugoslavia and Greece. In Yugoslavia, partisan groups led by Josip Broz Tito waged a relentless guerrilla war against Axis forces, contributing significantly to the Allied war effort. In Greece, the National Liberation Front, EAM, and its military wing, the Greek People's Liberation Army, ELAS, became key players in the resistance. The Yugoslav partisans, under Tito's leadership, became one of the most effective resistance movements in occupied Europe. Their guerrilla tactics and ability to mobilize diverse ethnic groups posed a significant challenge to Axis forces. Similarly, in Greece, the ELAS conducted sabotage operations, ambushes, and coordinated attacks, disrupting German supply lines and communication networks. The Balkan campaign had profound strategic implications for World War II. The diversion of German resources to the Balkans delayed the launch of Operation Barbarossa by several crucial weeks. This delay, coupled with the harsh Russian winter, played a critical role in stalling the German advance on Moscow. Some historians argue that the Balkan campaign, by disrupting Hitler's timetable, contributed to the eventual failure of the German invasion of the Soviet Union. The delay in launching Operation Barbarossa allowed the Soviet Union to bolster its defenses and prepare for the impending German onslaught. The diversion of resources to the Balkans also stretched German supply lines and strained the Wehrmacht's capabilities. The harsh winter of 1941-1942 further compounded these challenges, leading to significant German losses and a strategic stalemate on the Eastern Front. The Balkans in World War II. The Balkan Campaign of 1941 was a pivotal episode in World War II, demonstrating the ferocity and effectiveness of German military strategy. It underscored the geopolitical importance of the region and highlighted the complexities of the Axis alliance. The campaign's swift and brutal nature served as a stark reminder of the devastating impact of modern warfare. The occupation of the Balkans had long-term consequences for the region. The brutalities of the occupation and the subsequent resistance movements shaped the post-war political landscape. In Yugoslavia, the partisan victory laid the foundation for the establishment of a socialist federation under Tito. In Greece, the civil war that followed the liberation from Axis occupation reflected the deep-seated political and social divisions exacerbated by the war. For the Axis, the campaign underscored the necessity of securing critical regions to protect strategic resources and flanks. For the Allies, it highlighted the importance of timely intervention and the need for coordinated resistance efforts. The courage and resilience of the Yugoslav and Greek resistance movements also provided valuable lessons in unconventional warfare. The Axis powers learned the importance of securing their flanks and protecting vital resources such as the Romanian oil fields. The Allies, on the other hand, recognized the need for greater coordination and support for resistance movements. The experiences of the partisans and ELAs provided valuable insights into guerrilla warfare, influencing Allied strategies in other occupied territories. A forgotten front. Despite its significance, the Balkan campaign is often overshadowed by other major events of World War II, yet its impact on the course of the war, particularly on the Eastern Front, was undeniable. The campaign shaped the strategic landscape of Europe and left a lasting legacy on the nations involved. Understanding this forgotten front offers a more comprehensive view of the complexities and global nature of World War II. The Balkan campaign demonstrated the interconnected nature of global conflicts, where decisions made in one region could have far-reaching consequences. The delay in Operation Barbarossa, influenced by the Balkan campaign, had a ripple effect on the Eastern Front and ultimately on the outcome of the war. Recognizing the significance of the Balkan campaign provides a fuller understanding of the multifaceted nature of World War II and the enduring impact of the conflict on the Balkan region.